Don't judge me. I just wish you knew. I just wish you knew. That's just like you. Miss you all the time. Need you.
Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Like I said, we switched it up a little bit, and we wanted to go ahead and have this STS conversation here on this Sunday afternoon. As you already know, this is the 6MK live channel, 6MK crew. Appreciate y'all coming in. Hey, you already know. It's the terrible trio. To my stage left, as you know, it is Mad Bite Sports, aka the Senator.
Yeah, bitches.
And also riding with us today, we have the villain, Mr. Tactician, aka the Joker, is with us this evening.
What's going on?
Well, it's been one lazy ass day, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, and this rain didn't help.
It really didn't help. It really didn't help. But we got couple conversations we want to go ahead and have on today's episode of the STS Chronicles. For those that is new to the channel, STS stands for shooting the shit. So we just gonna be shooting shit based on not just football or Atlanta Falcon news, but also entertainment, politics, whatever just comes out of mind. But before we get right into the main conversations, I think Goldust might. I think you'll like this. I think Goldust made an appearance today.
Oh wow.
I'll wait to ask. I'll wait for somebody to ask that. Why did they say Goldust made an appearance?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking about.
Oh yeah, man. Um, I guess for the Atlanta fans, the Miles Garrett news came out today that he ain't going no goddamn well.
Oh, can we talk
So
about that?
so when I say gold dust, everybody knows that gold dust stands for shattered dreams, nigga.
Yes, 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 yes. I had people hitting me up on Twitter about that. It rough. Well, K-Styles, I'm gonna say this. Can I further just interrupt y'all Sunday by saying he wasn't coming here anyway. We did not have the money, and we were not about to wreck our team for one player.
Mm-hmm.
For all of y'all that then went to the store and got you a fifth because Miles Garrett ain't coming. I mean, drink to your heart's content because he wasn't never gonna come over here.
Okay. So for those that may not know the news, Miles Garrett is staying in Cleveland. Um, Mike done put out a video on this as well as I done put out a short on it.
I'm gonna put out a short.
And Juan put a short out too. So pretty much it is a $123 million guarantee contract.
Ooh. So for y'all that don't understand, what was the contract for Deshaun Watson?
It was 230 guaranteed all the way.
And this is 123
guaranteed.
That's right under $500 million given to two people and a team that is going to sorely pay the price for it.
Mm-hmm.
Mike been telling y'all, Let's put this in perspective. Almost $500 million. $500 million. All two players.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh Bello, this called shooting the shit.
This is shooting the shit. So this is not a Falcons conversation.
Oh
Falcons
no.
news can be Falcons news can be talked about in here, but this is not a straight up Falcons conversation show. That's what the 6-man combo is for.
That's what the super chats are for. You super chat, you get Falcon talk.
Mm-hmm.
You pay
Now
for it. Yeah.
we got straight up, but there ain't no chasers over here.
Mm-hmm. You get pretty much Falcon talk from 7 different channels for 6 days a week. You goddamn it, we got to switch it up here every now and then.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yes.
let's see. 330 said, did the Browns commit franchise suicide? Boy, they been commit franchise suicide. Deshaun Watson was the obvious thing that showed you that they committed franchise suicide.
Nah, this is re-suicide. They picked the person up off the street, climbed back up the building, and dropped them again.
Exactly. Yeah, said the Browns continue to mess up the price of the brick.
Not
They ain't
really.
messing up no price of no brick. They just messing up they messing up their whole situation over there right now.
Man, I
You
got
ain't even got you ain't even you like you said, you don't even have a consistent offense enough.
Right.
Not even just the quarterback position, but like I said, then Chubb ass is on his way out. And you ain't got no run game either.
What they just did was just make Myles Garrett's retirement that much more comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to be the greatest player on the team that didn't win. That's what he's going to be.
And which I ain't mad with, which we
Now,
ain't mad at him for.
now
You
you
get
get
your
your money.
money, goddamn. But
Right. Get your money.
I'll wait my time.
go ahead,
Yeah, go
Mike. What you
ahead.
got?
Go ahead, man.
Go ahead, let it all out. Shoot your shit on
That's
this.
right.
I mean, I look, I'm tired of people talking about get your money. That shit is so weak. That shit's so fucking weak. It's like that's the way of the world these days. Man, get your money. Just like he a fucking hypocrite because that's what y'all want to say. Like everybody want to man get your money. Man, shut the fuck up. How about that? Say what the fuck you mean and mean what the fuck you say. You said you want to win. Guess what the fuck happened? That didn't happen. That ain't gonna happen.
I mean, the thing about it is he didn't say necessarily.
I'm not. I wasn't finished.
All right, well, go ahead.
I wasn't finished. Everybody think they know where I'm gonna go. My thing is mean what you say and say what you mean. I don't have a problem with people getting the money, but that's the easy way out when people say 123 million. This is exactly what's going on in football and in sports right now. Nobody mean what they say. Everybody is saying whatever the fuck they say one thing and they do a completely different thing. They ain't no look. I don't have a problem. Good look, do what you gotta do. But at the end of the day, like, bro, you look. This is what I mean. Read that case out. This is your show. Read that for me, sir, please.
Yeah, I'm not turning down that contract either. I mean,
So
I mean,
if you say one thing, hey K Style come to me and Mike and say, K Style come to go to Warren and say, Warren, man, look, I just want to win, bro. And then Warren comes up and say, how about that 123 million?
Yeah, I get it.
See but that's the interest.
You
That's the
told me
interesting part about it.
that
He did.
that's exactly what I'm talking about. You told me that you want to win, and then Warren came to you and say, "Hey, bro, you know what? How about that 120 million? You still want to win? You still want to win?"
I mean, the thing about it is if you really look deeper into it. Hold on. I'm gonna let you finish. I'm gonna just put this quick one
I'm done.
out.
I'm done. I'm ready for it.
Oh,
I'm waiting for you.
oh.
Yeah, I'm done.
He said he wanted to win, but he didn't say what he wanted to win.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
the
yeah.
thing.
Remember that.
Because the
Remember,
thing about it is you gotta look at it from this standpoint. Well, a lot of folks,
it's a
like
win
you said,
for him.
by saying I just want to win is such a bland statement. You really don't know what the meaning is of it because that thing could
And
mean seven
that's
different
why I
things.
said. See, that's exactly why I said what I just said, kid. You
wait,
just said.
but wait, Mike. Remember what I had on the show? Remember that sports endgame? I had that question up about people saying they wanted to win. Remember that conversation? Y'all can go back and watch the show. It come on every Friday. We talked about people saying they just want to win. And my question was, win what?
Mm-hmm.
You
Hmm.
can't be see people that are vague in their statements have no conviction. And what I believe, and this is just my opinion and mine alone, what I believe happened is Miles Garrett got the greatness beat out of him. And here's why I'm gonna tell you that.
That's what Kev just said.
He's
He
on a
said,
team to where he's given his all. He's given his all. He's been a contributing factor to that team, and he's been a menace to other teams. But the problem is they did not totally get the backing of the organization the proper way. This is why I screamed on these other shows, we got to stop wasting these guys' careers. Because now guess what? All of his greatness, now he's like, I'm getting up in age. I have a phenomenal workout. I'm still, how you say, serviceable, but I have injuries. But guess what? Nobody's picking me up right now because what I want, what I think I'm worth, I might not be worth to another team because a lot of teams would have had to break their teams down to have him. And he's like, well, shit, if I'm not going to get a Lombardi, I'm not going to have a ring, I might as well settle for the money. This man, that's a man that's had greatness beat out of him. Does that make him any less of a player? Hell no. He's a great player. He's a great player, but he's had greatness beat out of him because the organization wasted his career. Let's be real. They wasted his career. And we see this a lot in teams. This is why we tell y'all the Falcons now are not just going to go out and be popular. Popularity don't win nothing. It don't. And you ruin a lot of players' careers trying to be popular. They thought by getting Deshaun Watson, they was going to be popular. They were going to win stuff just because of his name, despite all the red flags. And they are committed to him. Now look at Miles Garrett. Miles Garrett, they go, we gonna buy you back so that we'll have, if we can say at least if we don't have wins, we had great players. That's stupid.
Hmm.
all right, because I thought you were going somewhere else, and I was about to say, so what fuck he go back for? If he got greatness beat, if you got greatness beat out of you, why go back? So it
Because
goes back to exactly
yeah,
what Kev was talking about.
Must be the money.
mm-hmm.
So
He settled.
he settled. Yeah.
But that's just like the same thing what we said about a lot of players that hell even Max Crosby is the same way.
And that right there, ATLEO, same thing happened to Julio. Julio had the
Mhm.
greatness beat out of him because why? He had one last opportunity. He had one last opportunity to do something about wanting to get a ring. You could have contributed to the team. You could have contributed to the team. They were already fearing our offense at that point. They was that you heard media saying it. Them three together, it's gonna be a problem. What you did, you settled. You got your money, and you said, I don't feel like doing this no more because they want me to work. I can't be the prima donna no more. I don't get my perks. I don't want to work. And you settle. And you settled yourself right on out of greatness, because guess what? Now what are you? You're just a name. You're just a name floating around. We will
Well,
never take away from what you did. You are a hell of an athlete, one of a kind, will never be seen
see,
again. But guess what? You settled.
see, see what ended up happening with Julio Jones was the notion was he was the reason why the Atlanta Falcons were great.
Hmm.
And then, like you said, you get the contract, and then you chasing something else. He didn't want his career to be tied to Matt Ryan, but unfortunately, it's tied to Matt Ryan.
Matt, here's the deal. Every quarterback has a receiver, be it a
Mhm.
tight end, be it a wide receiver, be it a running back that they're paired with, that was their go-to. Everybody
Mhm.
knows, as good as Brady was, who was tied to him? Gronk. I don't care
Gronk.
where he went, he drug Gronk with him. If you go back
Mhm.
to the great 49ers, Joe Montana, who was tied to him? Who was tied to him?
Jerry Rice.
There you go. And I'm gonna pick this right here. What
Three
3W said.
Negroes.
Yes, it's a team sport, but
One.
when it, what'd you say, Mike?
Well, I'm forever gonna be tied to AFN whether I like it or not. Okay, I
Mhm.
ain't going to say ever. I can sit up here and try to run. You can try to run all you want to on where you've got your start and everybody that with you in the beginning that helped you build. I'm forever gonna be tied to kill. One, everybody AFN. You
Right.
know, I'm forever gonna be tied to Jew Talk Sports. Done. Whether I like it or not. But there's some people, as we see, and I got no problem with, and that's the part of what I have with for good God Almighty, Miles. I was about to call him Moses. I don't know why I was about to call him.
Moses.
I look. This is what we talking about. He's gonna forever be tied to the. So you might as well just get the money because whether you like it or not, you are Brown, bro, and you've been there for years. So you might as well take the 100 and take for what it is. Things can't
Mhm.
happen where he say, all right, or they say, all right, bro, I'm never gonna win the championship. That could very well be the case.
Mhm.
He probably would never win, but you got to be okay with that. I think he's okay as a man to say, all right, my chances are in my career right now, I'm not going to win, and you got to be real with yourself. You got to be real, and I think he's real. He's real with himself about him may not ever been like you may not ever win a championship. And don't do a Julio Jones and go chasing championships. Don't go chasing championships. No, don't.
Listen to the rivers and the lakes that you used to.
That,
Even
that,
though your contract ain't gonna give you what you want, you can still look at a ring.
that's it. So I
A
think
wedding ring.
he did that. A wedding ring. Whoa. I mean, you might as well. Sheesh.
Well,
Might as
well,
well.
ain't gonna be no Super Bowl ring. You might well be looking at a wedding ring or some
Might as
shit.
well.
Now he'll probably be inducted into the Ring Hall of Fame. He'll be in that. But
Yeah, you can get that.
yeah,
I
he might get a
But
ring, but he'll get a jacket.
but
Mhm.
but this goes back to what we was talking about as far as the way that the landscape of what free agency is looking like, because if you look at the free agent market right now, you have a lot of defensive line and edge players
Hey,
that have
cuz,
just recently got cut.
Yes.
I mean,
So what it is everybody's starting to go younger, starting to look for that next young guy, that the old guys are pretty much getting kicked to the wayside.
Hmm.
So he probably looked at it from this standpoint, like, shit, they offered me 123 million. This might be the last This might be the last contract I get.
In the NFL, every 20 years or so, there's a purge. There's a natural purge, and where you cycle out the players of old, the ones that hang around that still have maybe a couple, maybe 1 or 2 years on their body, you know what I'm saying, and maybe on contracts or whatnot, and then you have an invigoration of young talent. So the guys that are young talent right now become the OGs. So that's what we're
Mm-hmm.
witnessing right now. We had that
Mm-hmm.
same cycle about what, the early 2000s, 2001, 2002,
Right.
had the same thing. So in another 20 years after this, it'll be the same thing. It's about 20-year span.
Mm-hmm. And like I said, this is actually the good time. Like you said, we definitely gonna the heavy hitters will be back this week because starting let me see what's today, the ninth.
Mm-hmm.
So tomorrow is actually the official days of negotiations, free agent
Mm,
wise, and the official free agency is on. Guess what? Wednesday, y'all.
mm. Hey, hey, ooh, we need to talk about that because, bruh, y'all, I've been screaming it for the last 4 months.
Mm.
Let the
Noah
disrespect begin.
said Noah said he's gonna request a trade again in another 2 years. Man,
Uh,
motherfucker ain't even gonna. He probably don't even. He wouldn't even care no more. Cause like you said, shit. Like you said, if he's getting all his guarantees, like you said, if his guarantees run out after 2 years, then maybe
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
So we gotta look at that contract as what it is again, and just like what Anime said, hit that like button.
that's it.
Oh shit. But man, I wish I could sneeze $123 million like that. But
But, bruh, I'm telling you.
Damn right. Shoot.
so so like you said, that was kind of like the opener, the sidebar of the show. Dre Murphy, thank you. Um, so we have two conversations that we want to go ahead and get into this evening. I want to go ahead and kind of start with the NBA conversation that we have here is the old school versus the new school.
Ooh,
And and let me give you the reason why I say this. I want to ask everybody a question here.
okay.
Does anybody follow Gilbert Arenas podcast called Gil's Arena?
I've seen it here and there. I really haven't really looked at it like
Okay.
in detail.
Yes.
Okay. 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 People that's watching right now, do y'all kind of follow Gilbert Arenas' podcast? No, it's the podcast where he got uh some other nigga
I forgot the other guard.
I forgot the other guard that's on there too. Uh,
You ain't talking about Steven Jackson, are you?
no. That's all the smoke.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
him and Matt
He
Barnes.
was, I think he was on one of his shows, but that
Mm.
wasn't a mainstream.
Auntie Pam, what's going on? Appreciate you coming in.
What up, Auntie Pam?
Um, so so oh yeah, Rashad McCants, Nick
Okay.
Young, Brandon Jennings. Yeah, that's it right there. So they had a conversation last week, and the special guest on their podcast was one not the one and only Tim Hardaway Sr. Now, if you kind of watched what their podcast is, they always used to talk trash about the new school. I mean, they talk trash about the old school, and pretty much put out the notion that the old school players was Michael Jordan, Larry Bird, and a bunch of plumbers. Oh
That
yeah, Kenyon Martin be on there too, yo. And he got up on there and he kind of chomped their asses off real bad.
He should.
But this is a conversation that we always kind of see online a lot as far as the basketball fans, where it's always the old school game versus the new school game. And I really want to ask y'all the question is, what do you think is the difference, and why do you think it's the divide?
Oh, that's very simple. It's the heart. Number one, it's the heart. I'm just gonna cut all the fancy terminology, analytics, and all the money. It's the heart. It's the heart.
Mm. Go ahead. Go ahead.
All
Dig
right.
deep into that one.
I'm gonna say this, and I don't care who it hurts. This league is a bunch of spoiled. While they are very talented, but spoiled, talented, entitled brats. Because while y'all out here running up and down the court, scoring 155 points a game, y'all have no idea what it means. And it's a few of y'all, it's a few players out there knows what it means to play with heart without compensation. A lot of the players from the early 2000s, and I'm going the first 3 years, 2001, 2002, 2003, and back, they played because there weren't a whole bunch of big contracts back then. Again, for those of y'all that don't understand what made Jordan who he was, it was the sneaker deal. It wasn't his NBA salary. He was one of the few. You had Dr. J that had Converse. It was one of the few contracts that put him on the pedestal of making a lot of money during his tenure. A lot of those other players around him weren't making that kind of money, especially not in Dr. J's era. It was more about the love of the game. Mind you, a lot of these cats came off the street. Some of them came from college, but a lot of these cats, 70s and 80s, they came off the street and played ball. And then the NBA took a notice to them. There wasn't nobody handing them out no NIL deals. There wasn't no colleges with these big programs where they could make money. There wasn't a whole lot of push. You had to love the game through injury and whatever. That's why I say it goes by era. The basketball players of old played harder, more physical, and they did not have these fluffy booty rules that we got now. I'm sorry, it's soft, and it wasn't no 3-point shootout every other game. And they talking about, oh well, if I played back then in that day, you would have got your ass kicked, plain and simple. The good players we say that's good now, they would have got their ass kicked back in the 90s. I can promise you that. I can promise you that. I can put all them collectively together on one team against one old team from old, and they would get their asses handed to them. It may be about 6 of them players that could probably keep up, but the rest of them would get their asses kicked with the fouls and aggressiveness and the physical. Y'all would be flopping all over the damn place. I'm sorry, they not built the same, man. They not taking away from them. They good athletes, but certain instances they not built the same.
What?
Yo,
what do you mean would be flopping?
You know, if they would be flopping. They'd be looking at the rest for calls and everything else. No.
Let me say it again. What you mean would be flopping?
What you trying to say? They are flopping.
See, did you not see that bitch grab his groin last night? He grabbed everything except for what the fuck actually hit him.
Yeah. Phantom pains.
Ben James grabbed everything in the universe except for something that actually hit him.
Look, and look.
Am I wrong?
No, you. Hey, look, you're not lying. And guess what? And I'm gonna tell y'all something. Just so y'all don't come up here talking about his size, I would put him against Ben Wallace any day, and that right there would be hilarious. I would put him against Ben Wallace on Detroit.
That man would shit his drawers just looking at him. Okay.
Yeah.
Ben Wallace and Rasheed Wallace.
Last night and he up here damn flopping all. Are you freaking kidding me? An elbow, this shit. Oh my god! Oh jeez! The elbow,
So
wind of the elbow hurt this nigga and put him on the damn injury list.
Bruh, look. When we grew up in the league where when the league where Ben Wallace would come down and clothesline your ass, and that was okay. And that was right before the 2000s. That was the mid to late 90s. Now that wasn't no 80s. That would be Ben Wallace and Rasheed Wallace on the Pistons. They would come down and clothesline your ass on purpose.
So the reason why I was bringing up the Gills Arena episode was Nick Young, Swag EP, for those that may not know who Nick Young is, had a comment in which he kind of disrespected said name of a guy named Mike, you may know him, Bart Price, and said that he was all right.
Yeah.
And he said he would do wonders on him.
Interesting.
Now, one of the reasons why I'm coming with this conversation is this is my take on what the old school versus the new school NBA is. I think the biggest difference between the two is today's NBA. The art of the role player is officially dead.
Yep.
Right there. Mm-hmm.
Now, when I say the art of the role player is dead, you're probably gonna be wondering, why do I say that? Because every team, most of the successful teams, has a significant guy who plays a significant role. Whether you have a defensive specialist, you have an enforcer, you have you have a locker room guy.
Wow.
You have a floor general. You have, like I said, you have a sideline support guy, lunch pail guy, foul guy, or just a knack.
Do y'all know that? And Noah E here hit it on the head. Do y'all know that role players are the ones that make the superstars look good? They're the ones that make the superstars shine because they're willing to do the dirty work.
So when you kind of look at a lot of today's NBA games, if you look at a lot of the rosters are built, at least 85 to 90% of the roster literally plays the exact same way. Everybody plays the one role. You may have about 2 or 3 guys that play a different role. And just based off today's NBA, in which the numbers are at an all-time low right now as far as viewership. I think the quality of the game has took that dip down because of it.
And
like
this is and not to cut you off, K-Styles, but this is why if y'all watch my cousin when he talks about basketball, this is why we as Hawks fans scream about how the team has to be constructed, especially when it comes to Trae Young. Because a lot of y'all don't understand, like even the latest, not this version of the Boston Celtics, but I'll say about 5 or 6 years back when you had Rajon Rondo and Kevin Garnett, those were the dirty guys. They did the dirt so that the other players could do their thing. Like back in the day with Bird, do you know that Robert Parrish, the Chief, he was the dirty guy. He was an in the paint enforcer. He made it so that he could kick that ball out and Bird could hit them threes. You got to have them role players, man.
I mean, like you said, just as a Hawks fan, like you said, you just even go back to just 3-4 years ago.
Yeah.
That team had role players that gelled together, and it got them all the way to the Eastern Conference Championship game. When I'm talking about role players, you're talking about Solomon Hill, the enforcer. You had Danilo Gallinari,
Yeah,
who was your vet.
yeah.
You had Kevin Herter, that was your 3-and-D guy.
Hmm.
You just had a multitude of people that played a certain role, and that's why I feel like today's NBA game is lacking. Is these analytics nowadays is forcing, and not even just analytics, but this just goes back to AAU
Hmm.
basketball, where you got a lot of these players. You're training a lot of these teams to literally everybody's playing the same exact way. That's why every NBA team averages at least 30 to 35 3-point attempts a game.
Yeah. King Quest, Kevin McHale was more or less like an enforcer. He was kind of like how Dennis Rodman was or whatever. He was that dude where he wasn't necessarily dirty. He was more or less like he keeping everybody in check. So if he periodically he'd do some dirt. But when I mean dirty guys, the guys that's doing the grunt work, you know what I'm saying? He was kind of like what's the old dude that used to be on Draymond Green. Draymond Green is enforcer. When you want some guy to really be physical with the players, that's him. Kevin McHale was that dude. He was the enforcer.
And Draymond Green ain't that damn good, but the thing about it is he's the emotional leader on the team.
Right,
That's a role in itself.
right. Yeah, Kevin McHale used to be like that. He,
And we already got ones talking about you need to stop the lies. Role players will never die. Stop the cap. All right, name me a few role players in this league that you know of
that are effective now. I
that
mean,
are effective. We not
right,
talking about just niggas that's just on the team just because they on the team.
right.
Oh my God, I'm not gonna respond to somebody named Marino. Okay, I'm just mind my
Marino
business.
Carter. Dear Jay here said, how y'all feel about Karras and Yang? Y'all trading 100 of my Cavs help us for real. And from what I've seen, the Yank hasn't been bad for y'all. It like I said, it definitely helped both teams.
Hmm.
Like you said, Karras and the Yang are pretty much kind of like perimeter guys who have they can at least give you something in the mid range game too.
Hey, Miss Hattie, how you doing?
Yeah, Hattie, how you doing?
Southside said Kelly Ober, Norman Powell, and Levert are just a few good role players. I mean, if you look,
Hmm.
I'm gonna tell you like this: if you want to
Hmm.
know who are the best role players, look at the
Hmm.
teams that constantly get into the conference finals and go to the championship.
Hmm.
That will tell you what the role players are.
And when you're talking about role players, you're talking about role players who are effective consistently in that role.
Mm-hmm.
Now, let me give you an example of a guy that we thought was going to be a role player, but ended up ain't being shit, and it disappointed the hell out of me.
Who was that?
Cam Reddish.
Bruh.
Yeah,
I almost cussed upside down.
but like you said, this kind of goes into this era nowadays, like you said, where you're having a lot of these teams. They're trying to build these super teams through trades and big money and free agency, like you said, especially with these trades, you have to get rid of role players. The only thing that role players play a big part in today's game is their trade assets to get a bigger name star.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you ain't a little bitch for that. He's the reason why there's no role players on most teams. Because all he wanted to do is he wanted to trade for a bunch of Luca Brasses. Okay, That's all.
Luca Broxy's.
What I mean by that, is the right hand man. That's all he want to trade for. He just wants somebody to be by his side
hmm But
and do what he tell him to do.
but my thing is when it comes to sports, when it comes to really anything, the game's always going to evolve into something different. But
Mm-hmm.
what my biggest issue is with this conversation, and I kind of pay attention to how a lot of people kind of speak. Like I said, yeah, you got some of the old school guys that may, have criticisms of the new school NBA. And like I said, some of it may be warranted, some of it may not be warranted. But when the fact that you have a lot of these new school basketball fans who just dismiss anything before 2004 is kind of a crime in itself. And that's where I have a big issue with it.
I
Yep.
mean, even I mean, let's keep it real. Does any like do any of these young basketball fans even mention Kobe Bryant name anymore?
Nope.
Master P said it best. Master P said that Kobe Bryant has become a forgotten name, and
Uh-huh.
he was a forgotten name until he died.
Right.
The only reason why most new school fans remember Kobe just because he died.
Yep.
Mm,
Y'all know him for being a mural on the wall, but y'all have no idea how he was when he played.
hmm
But that's the problem I have because here's something that no young fan or no young NBA player can get away from. If it had not been for the old school, y'all wouldn't know what to do. Most of
And,
mo-
and for the school that came before them,
yeah,
they had to learn.
yeah. Let me get y'all something. If it had not been for the old school, the ones we grew up with and the generation before us, there would have not been a slam dunk contest that y'all see these young kids doing now. There wouldn't have been no 3-point shootout that y'all see right now. There all of the dunks and stuff that y'all see, like when y'all see John Morant jumping out of the gym and stuff like that, flying all over you. Guess what? Guess where you got that from, Jordan? Guess where Jordan got that from, Dr. J? A lot of y'all don't understand it. If a lot of all this 3-point shooting, you can thank Dan Marley and you can thank Larry Bird for that kind of stuff. Why? Because that was their thing. 3-point
Hell,
shootouts wasn't that all that common.
hell, Pistol Pete was one of the first marksmen from three, and that was right around the time where the 3-point ball didn't even count.
I
Right,
mean,
right, right.
they only say that like let's keep it real when it comes down to this basketball thing. Let's really thank guys like Mark Price for
Yeah,
what the game is today because Mark Price, those guys made that 3-point shot famous. To be honest, I mean they
hmm,
have video games named after Mark Price.
yep,
They literally used every kid in the 80s and 90s used to say Mark Price for three
yep,
when he was part.
hmm,
Think about it like this: before LeBron James, you had a Grant Hill
yep.
who literally did everything.
Oh,
Everything.
oh, and let's not forget the ball handlers now because remember you had people Trey Young side like Muggsy Bogues and Allen Iverson who was shaking the great Jordan. He was breaking ankles on a game relentless. Y'all forgot about the guys like Sean Kemp who was he was like the NBA gorilla. He was making fools out of people back then. You know, before there was a Shaq, there was a Daryl Dawkins breaking backboards and stuff. Like, come
Right,
on now.
right. But like I said, with the guys that we have today, like I said, you got a lot of guys who have a lot more of the green light. You have a guys that are more, I say, this is why I said this is why I said the art of the role player is dead, because everybody today has the green light to. It's really the Euro game all over again.
Yeah.
You pick and roll, everybody stand at a spot, shoot the three.
And wait, stand and wait.
That's
Hmm.
it.
I
But
call it.
that
I call it slave basketball. That's what I call it.
what? Wait, what?
Move, nigga, move when
Wait,
I tell you to move, and you shoot when I tell you to shoot.
wait, Mike. When I move, you move just like that.
So we went from what Brandon Jennings called jailhouse ball to slave ball. What are we talking about?
I see when LeBron told when what's called it when LeBron what the motherfucking name? Good God Almighty, he was on that team. He didn't shoot the ball.
Oh,
God,
J.R. Smith.
J.R.
J.R.
Yeah,
Smith.
Smith.
J.R. Smith.
yeah.
Yeah, that's slave basketball. LeBron like, nigga, I told you to move. I told you to shoot the ball. It's become slave basketball all because of LeBron James.
So my thing is no, hold on. So what you're saying is they're a slave to the analytics.
They are slave to the analytics. That's what
Wow,
it's slave
wow,
ball.
wow. So you trying to say, Mike? We sitting up here watching a reiteration of the cotton picking league.
Mm-hmm. Yes, we are.
Yeah.
What we always say, what the
Because
cotton hill is going on.
because what I'm saying, what Mike is saying, he being funny as hell about it, but he's being right about it just for the simple fact that, like I said, the today's game now is a slave to what they call the analytics, which the analytics tell you is that the three ball is more effective than the mid range jump shot. That the
Right.
three ball is more effective than you driving to the basket. That's the
When
analytics.
in fact the mid range jumper has won more championships than the long range three.
I tell
Oh boy,
everybody this. I tell everybody this way: the mid range jump shot is the most deadly jump shot in today's NBA right now.
Yep. 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 Because unlike the three, you can set up like you're gonna go for the mid range, and once the person takes the bait, you're gonna go straight to the basket.
Mm-hmm.
But let's see. King said, "Oh yeah, Corey. Yeah, Paige Stoyakovich was getting buckets.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and Noah, I'm glad you said that because yep, I blame James Harden, goofy ass for all this shit. I said
Oh,
James Harden
Yeah.
is the main reason of the style of play today. Yes,
you know what? I'm gonna be honest with you, and I hate to say this, and a lot of people are gonna disagree with me, but I think while 3-point shots are very important, very valuable, that's called lazy basketball.
Mm-hmm.
dude,
It don't take no energy to go
dude. The
to the.
ball, the Boston Celtics average shooting 42 threes a game.
Yeah, it
That's
don't
And
take no.
almost 53% of the shots they take.
Right.
See,
they head coach believe that's why they hired their head coach because he's an analytical guy.
Yeah.
See, and I'm and this is gonna be a controversial topic that we may save later. This is why, and I've said this on the show like maybe a month ago. This is why I said that Steph Curry has been more influential to the style of basketball than LeBron James ever was. Because what ended up happening was everybody fell in love with that Golden State style.
Yep.
Everybody started trying to build their team to fit that style. But this is the one thing you forgot about that Golden State team. Yes, they shot a lot of threes, but guess what? They was always top five in defense. They
Yep.
was always
Mm-hmm.
top five in assists.
Yep.
They was always top five in assist to turnover ratio.
Yep.
And they
Step.
They had a
and they PER on both offense and defense was always top.
Yeah.
because
Steph Curry.
you had a multitude of guys on that team that fit a specific role. Yeah, Klay Thompson could shoot. That's the Splash Brothers, but you forgot he was the primary um defender.
Yeah.
You got Draymond Green. He was the emotional leader. You had JaVale McGee, who was the paint dominator. You
Mm-hmm.
had Sean Livingston, who would kill you in the mid range. You just had
Mm-hmm.
a Andre Iguodala, who was another 3-and-D guy. See, you, like
Yeah.
I said, you had a multitude of guys that was able to do a bunch of things.
What
Problem is,
They was built like the Chicago Bulls. Okay, they was built like the Chicago Bulls. They had a team of role players.
yeah.
mhm,
What Steph did, basically what Steph did, Steph took a great shot and then he revolutionized it by the way he made it look easy and how he played based on his size. Because you wouldn't expect a guy his size to be shooting like that.
mm,
He wasn't the prototypical 3-point shooter. And the way
right.
he did it, from where he did it, it almost made the 3-point shooter's position evolve. And everything is a copycat league.
Let's be honest. Steph Curry is one of the most disrespectful ass shooters I've ever seen.
Absolutely.
He's one of the most disrespectful ass shooters
He's
I've
the
ever
most.
seen.
Look, Kev, let's
He's
be honest.
the most.
When we played basketball, when you seen basketball played back then, what did you say? We knew you could pick out in the lineup who the 3-point shooter was. And you'd be like,
Hmm.
all right, just don't leave him open. That's all that was said.
And
You don't
nine times out of 10, that was the white guy that was on the court.
thank you. You didn't have Bird shooting from half court just because he felt like it. It was fun. No. Bird had to have a setup. He was on the perimeter. He had the edges. He had the top of the key, and sometimes he would hit in between. That was where he was at. He wasn't in backcourt catching the ball saying, "Y'all just gonna throw this up and catch." Don't even worry about it, fellas. Just the ball going in. Y'all just stand with the bag.
Smile at that girlfriend while he doing it. You gotta throw that in there.
right. Because he know what's going in. know what's going in.
That motherfucker was disrespectful. That motherfucker was more disrespectful than Reggie Miller, nigga. I'm telling you.
Bruh.
Yeah,
Reggie Miller would talk about your mama, hit the 3, and then run over to the sideline and kiss her. He was disrespectful.
And here goes Sonya. This is what she said. She said, I'll take the old
I don't
school
think
any day.
somebody would take this bullshit.
Bruh. I miss
Said
the
the new
old
school.
nobody.
She said new school basketball doesn't play defense anymore, and they're all about the superstar super teams.
Thank you. You know what, Miss Sonya? Thank you. Say it again. Just type it again because they don't understand what you're talking
And like I said, Sonya is a basketball player herself, so she knows.
about. Right.
But yeah, man, I think I think what all the other issue is going on now too is you've been so reliant on the star power of LeBron James, Steph Curry, and just a handful of guys like Giannis, and
Yeah.
it's just really just think about the main superstar guys is LeBron James, KD, Steph Curry, and probably Giannis. 3 of those guys are close to retirement now.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't really have a consistent star that you could build the team. You could I ain't gonna say build a team, but you don't have a consistent guy that could be like, okay, he could be the face of the league. Yeah, you may want to, like I said, the closest thing you may have right now is Jokic and Luka.
Mm-hmm.
It says three that says Steph Curry being a little
Yeah.
undersized had to learn how to create space and have a quick shot before the bigger player could block his shot. Yeah, he basically played just like his damn daddy.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. His father was the blueprint of that of the evolution. But what he
Ain't
did was,
even just his father. It's Mahmoud Abdul Rauf was
yeah,
another one.
Yes, but what he did to make something, it takes a lot of skill to make something look effortless.
And that's the thing right there. A lot of the big major stars in this game are not going to. They're all going to be international stars.
Mm-hmm.
I think Noah said Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He's Canadian.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, Jokic international, Giannis international, Luka international.
But
They
Kev,
want to try. They trying to push Joel Embiid to be international, but that motherfucker can't stay healthy for shit. So I don't count him.
But Kev, why here's the thing that people ain't paying attention. And the dream team is a dead giveaway. Why do you think those teams overseas change their game up? They're watching the old school ways of playing ball, meaning the fundamentals. Because
Mhm.
before America you could put anybody from America over on another team overseas and beat the snot out of them, hands down. Now it's
Mhm.
not that easy. Why? Because they're getting old school fundamentals in a league that's going away from a lot of that stuff.
Mhm. Said Devontae Adams just signed a 2-year deal to the Rams.
Mm. Oh, we got that. I'm gonna be real with y'all. Y'all, a lot of people, when the Falcons make their move, a lot of y'all gonna be hurt. Y'all feelings gonna be hurt.
Mhm.
We'll see that for another conversation.
But but like you said, like, we're gonna get to the last conversation, but I do want to say this, and I'm gonna get Mike and Wald's final takes on this. As I said, like you said, the problem is all of your made like you said, once Steph retires, once KD retired, once LeBron retires, these are your three head honchos in the league.
Mm-hmm.
All your superstars are going to be international players, which is not going to resonate with a lot of the American fans.
Nope.
And this is where the NBA game is falling off, and thanks to that Duck Bill Platypus, aka Adam Silver,
Mm-hmm.
is gonna, like you said, the ratings are gonna constantly go down because if you look at when the NBA draft comes around, I want people to put their hands. I want people to say in the chat when the NBA draft comes around, who's excited about the NBA draft? And just be honest.
I'm not. I ain't gonna even lie.
Mike, do you even be excited about the NBA draft?
I'm I, I'm not. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't even look. I'm more geeked up for the NFL draft than I am. I like the baseball draft. If that's the case, NBA, nope. You tell me who landed on whose team. All I care about is did the Hawks get somebody else. That's it. I'm not excited about that because all you're gonna do is get a 3-point shooter.
Yeah,
What you gonna get is a 3-point shooter.
yeah, because you're gonna be banking on Cooper. Like you said, the thing is, like you said, and that's the thing. You don't have guys that's coming in the league that you can say, oh man, he's gonna be a superstar in this league. He can be the one that can take this to the next level.
Right now, Kev, what you saying that there's going to be a period in time where the NBA is going to suffer a little bit, and you're going to have that one standout player that's going to reinvigorate the NBA the way it should be. When that time comes, I'm not sure. But
Right.
this 3-point shootout, man, please, just let me know what the score was.
Hmm.
And the first team to get to 200, that just let me know when the first team get to 200.
Hmm. D. Coleman said the lottery be more exciting than the damn draft itself.
Right.
Hattie said, "You think the NBA is bad? No one watches baseball since the black man left." I mean, baseball going through that. Well, baseball is kind of they're kind. Well, the thing is with baseball, yeah.
Y'all
I
might
mean, because it's kind of that's kind of a weird dynamic because most
Yeah,
of their superstar guys are Latin internationals and stuff like that, and a lot of
yeah,
these guys be shit talkers. So people are slowly getting back into it. See what baseball? See, they thought that somebody like Mike Trout was gonna bring folks back into baseball. Nobody give a fuck about Mike Trout or what's that dude? Nolan
Man, we
Arenado and
want to
stuff
eat
like
that.
that.
Yeah.
Mike Trout.
like you said, guys like Ronald Acuna Jr., Fernando Tatis. What's that dude from the Reds? Eddie.
Vladimir Guerrero Jr.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, those guys have a flair to them that makes people gravitate to watching baseball. Like you said, Aaron Judge.
They make it fun.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the problem that we getting away from. When you start pouring corporate mentality into a sport, you kill the fun of it. The whole part of watching sports is to be entertained. So it's got to be
Right.
fun. If you
Right.
overanalyze it and trying to put everybody in a box, it ain't fun.
Right.
Aaron
Like you
Judge
said,
ain't good. He got them hope on the field.
I like Aaron Judge, man. I like Aaron Judge. I like Aaron Judge.
Motherfucker hope.
See,
Yeah, I didn't say I didn't like him. I just said he ain't good. He just hope on the damn field.
but the thing is, like you said, the thing about it is you have guys that you can build, like have people say, okay, come to baseball, come to watch these guys. Like you said, the Ronald Acuna Jr., the Ellie Dela Cruzes, the Fernando Tatis Juniors, the Vlad Guerrero, like I said, the Vlad Guerrero Juniors.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, you got these guys who, like you said, who makes it fun to watch. Like you said, you got certain pitchers and stuff like that too. Shohei Ohtani is another one. I don't know this other motherfucker they got for the goddamn Dodgers. Like I said, they just spent about $700 million on this motherfucker too. but
Look, as long as we talk about Bryce Harper, we good.
Mm-hmm. But the thing is, like you said, they don't be American. Like you said, Jay, they don't be American either. But like you said, they have the flair. They have the that that oomph that like, okay, I gotta tune in to watch them.
Look, if you don't like baseball,
Like you said,
you don't like seeing them damn Latin players. I don't know what to tell you.
mm-hmm. Black folk don't play baseball no more because they don't look at it. We don't look at it as a come up, a
You
quick
can't
come
wear
up
no
anyway.
damn Jordans. That's all. You can't wear no damn Jordans when you.
Well, unless you got a Jordan scholarship, a Jordan sponsorship, but the thing is with black folk how we are is we look at baseball as boring. The average black folk look at baseball as boring.
I guess.
But yeah, the average one look at it as boring or as something that doesn't equate to getting to that final goal quickly. So you think about it, yeah, you can get drafted right out of high school, but it may take you about 7 years before you get to the damn pros unless you just that dude.
Yeah.
You got to be that dude. Larry said Jamie and Sherwood done re-signed with the Jets, so I guess that is that. Hey, look. I guess that shattered another damn dream right
Boy,
there.
hey, look, Warren been said it's gonna be a lot of hurt Falcon fans.
Mm-hmm. So what you said is Nate Lamb gonna be re-signed for a 3-year deal. That's
Oh,
gonna be the only
Lord.
linebacker we gonna get.
Oh Lord, Jesus Christ.
Mm-hmm.
45-30 guaranteed. That ain't surprising.
That ain't surprising at all. That's actually average. That's what you want.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, I used to see baseball as boring, but if you get into it, attention is like a good move. And the thing about me is, I grew up a baseball fan. I kind of got away from it from a good little while because I started really getting more into football at that point in time. But even watching it, even watching baseball on TV is kind of like hit and miss for me. But damn it, if I'm actually going to the games and actually being in the environment of the games, that's where I enjoy it the most.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, Harold Landry signed with the Patriots. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So we go
I'm
out.
about to say, boy, I'm about to say, boy, Terry Fondo about to become a ultra bad guy here with all these motherfuckers signing everywhere.
Yeah, look. Terry Fontenot is sitting back, laughing and sharpening his pimp shoes because he getting ready to finesse a whole bunch of people. I'm telling you, Terry Fontenot
He
laughing
said,
right now.
hold on, how the hell did Adam Sandler? Nah, cause I mean, yeah, cause you supposed to fish. Well,
If it's anything, they'll probably lose a pick like we
nah,
did
I
with
don't. Nah, I think this was. Hold on, cause I think they said the official day was supposed to be tomorrow, or
yeah.
is it today? I don't know. I don't know. I gotta look at the schedule and stuff like that. Yeah, that does kind of sound like tampering right there. Cause I thought the 10th was supposed to be the official day that you're supposed to be negotiating.
If y'all are paying attention, a lot of these teams right now are making moves out of desperation. So they probably gonna get Doc to pick or something like that. Just like we got Doc for that bull they put on us.
Okay. Larry said they can start now, but it comes into effect tomorrow. Okay, that makes sense.
Okay.
So when Kirk Cousins' ass happened, that shit happened a week before it was supposed to happen. Then,
Right. Mm-hmm. Right.
oh my
But
god.
but like I said, pay close attention to the real big signings that or the big re-signings. That the big re-signings are the ones that usually kind of tell you how the draft kind of shapes up.
Okay.
Because you got to think about it. These high profile players get taken back or picked up by other teams, then it begins to change how the teams look at who they want in the draft when that time comes.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna go ahead and get to this final topic of the evening. As you already seen the beginning, the one of the topics, and I think Juan wants. I'm gonna let Juan round point on this one because this is something that we've talked about, and that is the red pill conversation versus the feminism conversation.
Mm, mm, mm,
Lord
mm.
have mercy. So we probably gonna make a lot of enemies with this conversation. So
Yeah. All right. I know a lot of y'all pretty much be on TikTok or whatever. Not so much Facebook, a little bit on Instagram. But when y'all see these conversations, it goes back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. We've been doing this stuff for like 20, 30 years, not knowing that this conversation's been going on since before we were born. But I want to suggest something for y'all. Listen to that with a grain of salt if that's what you choose to do. But we as we as an older generation, because a lot of us now are probably in our late 30s to also about late 40s, about that 10-year span. We got to start teaching our children a lot better than what this. We got to start letting social media raise our kids. All right. And I said this a while back on one of Maggie T's shows. Okay, we got to stop switching positions for responsibility, and then using that as the mainstay for what people do. And I'll give y'all an example. You always hear this goofy conversation. And yeah, I said goofy. You have women say, "Oh, the man's supposed to provide and protect, and the woman is supposed to submit." And I laugh at people that say that because that's incorrect. It's incorrect. And you can get mad or whatever the case may be. You can go to your local gurus and all that. But a man by himself or a woman by herself is responsible for themselves, meaning survival. It's called adulting. It's called adulting. You don't go from infancy, adolescence teenage years, young adult, and then you turn around and then all of a sudden you become spouse material. No, that's not how it works. A man is supposed to provide and protect for his wife as a husband. Woman is supposed to do stuff for her husband. That's where those roles get in. When you're dating, it's nice to do anything for somebody, for their other significant other. I'm not knocking that. But those are niceties, not necessities. You are supposed to be able to feed yourself, clothe yourself, go to work, maintain a vehicle if you got one, maintain a job if you got one, maintain a space to live in if you got one. And if you decide to get with somebody, then you show them, hey, this is what I have with me. This is what I want to show you. That's a nicety. That is not written in stone that you're supposed to do that stuff. You do that stuff as a courtesy.
Mm-hmm.
Because you teaching these kids, and like I said, I'm a father of 4, 1 boy, 3 girls. I got both sides of the fence. I have to teach my son to learn how to be self-sufficient, but also I have to teach him how to treat a lady. My daughters, I have to teach them to be self-sufficient, to be able to maintain themselves, and then learn how to be a good person on that side when it comes to relationships. Why? Because I'm not going to sit up here and use social media's jargon and then they go out here thinking that's the way life is. That's why half of us right now got stress, anxiety, and trauma, because you're being raised to think like social media construct.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't got to tread like I'm stepping on all kind of toes because this is coming from a father. My kid, we are supposed to set our kids up to be better than us. We sitting up here letting our kids get raised by a bunch of hurt, trauma bonded, so-called know-it-alls that ain't living what they teaching these kids, and then turning around and saying, see, we can't deal with this generation. They lost. They ain't lost. You ain't taught them nothing. You ain't taught them nothing. And especially in the black community, because I don't care what it is. Say all 3 of us right now. I know a lot of people out there don't have they fathers in their life, and that's a tragedy. I know a lot of people out there don't have their mothers. Guess what? When you become an adult, you are responsible for how you manage that trauma. You cannot keep blaming your mom and your daddy when you get older for how you act out here in the world, because guess what? You are a total self-individual. You are on your own. You are not tied to the hip of your parents. You may come from them, but you are your own individual. You got a responsibility to deal with it or go to somebody that can help you deal with it. You got to stop leaning on that trauma as a crutch to do dumb shit and then turn around and say, oh, well, if it hadn't been for no, nigga, you know right from wrong. You know right from wrong. Show responsibility. And these last 2 generations have gotten lazy. And you want to put it on somebody else and then start switching positions to justify why you doing dumb shit. If you want to go out there and sleep with everybody else, just say that. But own up to it. If you don't want to be accountable for the bullshit you do, just say that. Own up to it. But don't sit up here and expect everybody else to coddle the fact that you know right from wrong, want to do dumb shit, and then you want to put a term on it. What are we doing? Then you mad because the kid, you can't talk to your children, or your neighbor's kids is badass, and then you mad because, oh, so-and-so treated my daughter wrong, or so-and-so treated my son wrong. It starts at home. And a lot of y'all walk past the mirror so you ain't got to look at yourselves.
Now, Mike, let me ask you this question. What is your thoughts on the idea of the red pill community? And what is your thoughts on the feminist community? What's your thoughts on both of those?
I think it's both. It's all in the same, to be honest. It's all in the same. I don't think there's a difference. Everybody's looking out for themselves. Everybody looking. It's to the point where it's just like you look at both. Red pill, not look. It just come down to they looking out for themselves. They looking out for themselves.
Say it again, Mike.
I don't see a difference. They try to portray it as it's a difference, but there's no difference because at the end of the day, you're looking out for yourself. And I was raised, whether you have a wife or you have a husband, you look out for your brothers and sisters. You look out for those that are smaller than you. I was always taught to look out and do what's best for everyone. You know what I'm saying? If
Hmm.
somebody needed to be fed, you know what I'm saying? If you got extra, you give it to them.
That's it.
So I was always taught to help. That's it. So whether I find a wife, find a husband, whatever the case may be, like you look out for that person. If you call that person, whether a friend or family, whatever the case may be, you got it, you help it in any way, shape, or fashion. And today, nobody cares because they're looking for someone to do the complete opposite. They're not
Right.
looking for help. They're looking for somebody to give to them.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think there's a difference. And that's the community that's the world that we live in right now. They're looking for people to give them, and they're not looking to give.
Right.
Look, I could take this so many different levels, but I'll leave it at that. I'll leave it at that.
I mean, the thing about this conversation can go on a multitude of shows
Right.
Mm-hmm.
because it's so many different things that come with it. Because you have to kind of you got to kind of look at where we at right now in society as far as the relationship between men and women and how divisive it has been. Now, it's very interesting in this conversation and in this quote unquote gender war that it's really only two races of people that's being affected by it.
Mm-hmm.
It's the black community
Mm,
and the white community.
And
Because these are the two major communities that's really hyping up and being the faces of it.
you said
Now,
some you said something.
while we're looking at the constructs of how like the multitude of races and communities are going, while you're having the Latino community and you're having the Asian community with higher rates of marriages and relationships and stuff like that. Now, like I said, everybody has their issues. Ain't nobody a stall from those issues.
Right.
While the Asian community and the Latino community is going up, the black community and the white community is going down.
Mm.
And red pill and feminism, the black and white community are the faces of that.
Yeah.
But Mike, you said something there that I kind of agree that I've agreed with, and I looked at it from the outside looking in. We're literally looking at two sides of the same damn coin.
yeah.
Both of y'all actually hit on something. And Kev, you said a word, and Mike, you said a word, and they basically the same thing. Do you want to know why those two other demographics that you called out, K Styles, are successful in their own right?
Why?
It's because they share the responsibility of the next generation.
There you
Mike
go.
has, Mike has said it, and K Styles has said it plain as day. Community. When we grew up, see a lot of people. I grew up partly in Buffalo, New York, in the projects where Rick James, the famous singer Rick James, used to grow up, and my dad and them lived. The one thing about that, and I told these guys that there was nowhere in Buffalo, New York, where I could go where they didn't know who I was. Why? Because my grandmother's reputation and my father's reputation surpassed the city. So me and my brother couldn't go anywhere and do anything without them knowing about it. At the same time, I was a kid, my brother was a kid. We could hang out with the bums on the corner and wasn't nothing happened to us. Why? Because even the bums had enough responsibility to watch out for the kids. They couldn't do very much, but they would, some of them would be like, hey, I know your grandmother, you shouldn't be doing that. Everybody shared the responsibility of the welfare of the children. Because why? We were their offspring. Some of them bums that were on the street were probably successful people at one time and fell on hard times. But the whole community, when you as a community can protect the kids and the welfare of the children are above individual family home livelihoods, everybody else benefits, because now guess what you do? What your parents can't see while they're working, you got other people saying, I seen such and such do that. And we as parents got to get out of our prideful way and saying, well, you can't talk to my. Now, granted, there are some people out there that mean your child no good, and you got to have discernment. But when it comes to a community, everybody is responsible for the collective in a small part. They don't try to tell the parents how to parent. They let the parents do the parenting. They just say, hey, I seen your child doing this. And I thought they seen him in a place they shouldn't be. I brought your child home to you because they were in a danger area. All you can do is respect that. They're not telling the parents how to parent. They ain't coming to the parents saying, if you'd have been a better father or mother, they wouldn't have been down the street. They didn't do that.
Right.
So it's a thin line, but we've gotten away from that. Why? Because what do you see on social media? You see kids fighting kids, kids fighting teachers, teachers fighting kids, parents fighting parents. So it tells the next generation, my community can't be responsible for me because everybody in the community got something bad about them. Everybody's bad, so there's nobody I can trust.
Right. And if you want to, okay, so 330 asks, break down the red pill definition is new to me.
Okay.
And so basically, and Leo said, yeah, so red pill was initially, like you said, like Leo said, it came from the Matrix. Like he said, basically is open your eyes to the truth.
Mm-hmm.
But that didn't go for just dating. That just went from a lot of different things as far as philosophies and life and ways of living and stuff. So you kind of open yourself up to, okay, this is what this actually is.
Hmm.
What ended up happening was they mixed the ideologies of what the quote unquote alpha male is
Mm-hmm.
to counteract what what feminists were talking about as far as you didn't need men and man ain't this and you could do bad all by yourself. So they took the ideologies of what an alpha male was to counteract feminism, and that's where you got red pill. So it's supposed to open your eyes to what the feminist agenda was.
I got two questions, and I'm going to ask everybody. And I'm glad you brought this up, 330. Are we more enlightened now, or are we overstimulated with perspective? Because here's the reason why I asked that question. Knowledge without discernment is chaos. And I'm going to say it again. Knowledge without discernment is chaos. Everybody's walking around here talking about their truth. Everybody's walking around here talking about being woke. But guess what? Nobody wants to tell you that you can be wrong. You can be right about the wrong thing. Everybody's talking about knowledge. Nobody's talking about discernment. You can read a book, and y'all can read a book word for word and not know exactly what that book is about because you don't have comprehension. Comprehension and discernment go hand in hand. You have to understand what it is that you are seeking. And then because in everything, there are going to be some parts that you can use and some parts that you can't use. And see, this is the problem. I was born and raised before the internet, before social media. So we had to have cognitive functions every day. We had to use discernment, because for you to trust your 8-year-old child to walk from your house to the school and not get snatched, not get hit by a car, not get himself into trouble, and you know what I'm saying, or not end up, you know what I'm saying, end up killing his friend out of rage and come back the same way you left him. That's discernment in that. You had to instill that. When you hear latchkey kids, oh, we were raising ourselves. We had to have discernment in that because there were certain things out there that a lot of us should have been dead from. But now you get social media and everybody else's perspective is interjected. Nobody has discernment. Everybody has a voice, but they don't have any discernment. They're talking, but they don't know what they're talking about. And usually whatever sounds best at the time, that's what they run with. So with this red pill thing, yeah, it was the counteract the feminism thing. But what's both sides are finding out is nobody's really telling the truth because the ones on the red pill ain't living the way they're teaching you, and the feminists aren't having fun being feminists. So it may look cute it look cute in spurts on social media, but I got one construct. Let the internet shut down. Y'all is in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Because now you're gonna be a bunch of idiots unto yourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And part of that comes from not sending your ass outside to play with other kids and develop social skills. Y'all know that, right? Before the internet, we had social skills. Men understood hierarchy and respect. Girls understood how to crisis management and emotionally bond.
And
After
the
social
thing is,
media, you stayed in the house with your opinions, who you didn't like, and nobody came outside and bust you upside your head for being disrespectful. That's the problem. There's no judgment.
So basically what you're saying is society has become one big echo chamber.
Yes. Let me ask you a question. You remember, I don't know if any of y'all ever went to Fernbank Museum downtown before. I don't know if it's still down there, but you remember they had this little experiment where you can go into a room and you can hear yourself bounce, your voices bounce. Put about 8 people in that room and let your voices bounce off the walls amongst the 8 of you. You will lose your mind.
What's your take on it, Mike? What you thinking about this? What you want to add to that conversation?
About
Just your thoughts on it. Like you said about all this just being like one giant echo chamber between the two, and how this quote unquote gender war has really not been a benefit, but it's been a disaster. And also for the simple fact that it has got into politics as well. And it's kind of destroying the very fabric of what it is to be a human being right now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's simple for me. Women just lost their place.
Hmm.
Women has lost their place. And I say that I'm saying that for a number of reasons. Not that it's all their fault, but they've lost their place. It's because men forgot how to. Well, I mean, they forgot. They didn't do their job.
Here you go.
Hmm.
They go back to what we was talking about as men. When you see a child really sitting on a curb, I've seen children sitting on the curb crying in tears, and a motherfucker walk right past them like he's not even there. I'm talking about men. I remember as a kid, if I was sitting on the curb crying in tears, guess what? Somebody was like, hey, little homie, what's going on with you? You okay? Where your mom at?
Right.
We walked right past them. We walked right past them like they weren't even there. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you rather record it and put it on Instagram and do all that dumb shit. So a lot when women lose their place as men, we got to say, all right, what the hell are we doing? What are we not doing?
And that go back to this comment right here. And I want to say this.
Do you pay attention to the new wannabe advocate leaders like 19 Keys and Yada Awakening? Oh, you talking
No,
about
no,
I have
because
no idea.
here's the deal.
these
You
goofy ass
you
niggas?
gotta
Go ahead.
this is my saying. You take social media with a grain of salt because y'all know what he has been allegedly accused of. But here's the problem that you're finding out. Like even tonight's conversation, a couple of them, because I used to like listening to Trip Fontaine. A lot of them are falling apart because they can't keep up the facade anymore. Because the problem is, now I'm not perfect at all. I'm gonna tell you right now, I got flaws, and I'm not afraid to say it. I'm not a perfect dad or none of that stuff. But what I do is I have enough self-awareness to sit my ass down sometimes when I know I'm going to the left and being like relying on what I was raised on. You know better than that, bro. We got to check out. We have a bad habit of being so egotistical we don't check ourselves. And to kind of piggyback off of what Mike was talking about, we have lost our choice to choose empathy. The same thing I'm talking about when I back in the day with them bums. Them bums didn't know me. They didn't owe me a thing. They didn't owe my grandmother a thing. But they saw if I was doing something ignorant that could have got me harmed, or if I was upset, they gonna make sure they gonna either usher me back to my grandmother, or they gonna be like impart what they have learned living on the street. And we have lost that empathy with somebody that we don't know because we want people to like us on social media. I'm gonna be honest with you. Half of the good shit I do, y'all will never see it on social media. I'm not gonna show it to you. Why? Because it's only for me and the person I help. I don't need y'all likes to do it. I don't need y'all like to be a good person. Because because guess what? At the end of the day, if the internet go away, guess what? Nobody gonna sit up there and congratulate me. I want to feel like a decent human being and say, "Hey, man, I helped that man out. I feel good." And I would hope if I'm down on my luck, somebody would take their time out and help me. It ain't about being popular.
You
It's about
said the
doing the
key.
right thing.
You said the key word one, and then this is where we had the conversation last night, where I said one of the biggest issues, like even just using us as an example, in the Falcon space is you have too many people who care more about validation than you do about people actually giving out a real bond.
Yeah. Y'all want validation for valor. Stuff you supposed to do. Like I said, if Mike down on his luck, I'm gonna go help Mike. But guess what? I ain't about to pull out my phone and talk about I'm about to go to help Mike. I'm gonna give Mike some stuff. He down on his luck.
Hell no.
And then I'm gonna go to Mike. Hey, Mike gonna be like, "Hey man, appreciate it, bro. Mike, I got 36,000 likes from helping you out." Then they gonna turn back around and say, "What the hell happened to Mad Mike? Mad Mike can't stand up on his own 2 feet. I knew that nigga wasn't shit." No,
Exactly.
look. Let me tell y'all something. And this goes for everybody, even me. Y'all gotta stop putting all y'all shit out on social media to get validation. That is causing half of the fuck ups. Because you got people out there that don't like you, don't care, and waiting for you to fall. And anytime they see you helping somebody else that's down on their luck, they gonna jump on them. Why? Because we're overstimulated with information and we're bored on being good people. Plain and simple. Y'all some bored ass niggas out here. You gonna film a turtle taking the shit, and then you gonna turn around and say, "Ooh, a girl down the street fighting. Let me see who got their ass beat." Next thing you know, they looking at you. You get your ass beat. Somebody filming you. You shouldn't film me. This isn't right. Like,
And
come on, bro.
the thing about it is when you're having this conversation, yes, you have good apples, you got bad apples and all this stuff. But the thing about it is at the end of the day, you can take as much information as you want, but like Juan said, you gotta use discernment. It's okay. How are you going to react to this? Because just because somebody else says, okay, you have to do it this way, does not mean that's the right way. Hell, that person could tell you could do it this way, and that could lead you to a bigger plethora of trouble.
There you go.
God damn, Josh Allen signed 6 year, 330, 250 guaranteed.
I told you a snowball effect. And guess what? And Buffalo gonna have to let some people go too. But you know what, K-Style?
Hold on, we got a question here. It said, will we be able to recover as a people, or are we too far gone? Nah, way too far gone now.
Look, this is not the first time people have done fucked up shit.
Right.
The thing is, the thing is that it's going to eventually come to an end, which we all know in the book of Revelation, blah, blah, blah. It says exactly that. So it's going to come to an end. He's going to say, all right, enough of this. All right. So I don't believe, because for me, there's good and there's bad in everybody. I could wake up tomorrow and just say, I'm just not into it. I just want to punch a motherfucker in the face.
There you go.
I could just wake up tomorrow and just say that for no apparent reason. I'm just look. It could be, hey, somebody, this happened to me, that happened to me, something that happened to my loved one. I don't believe that there. I believe there's good and there's bad in everyone.
Yeah.
There's good and bad in everyone, and at the end of the day, anybody can. But the thing is, what we go back to, what we always go back to, is accountability.
Mm-hmm. And
Nobody accountability. Just saying to yourself, "Hey, man, yeah, I made a mistake. All right, cool." Nobody wants to. And I think what is breeding that, because I think everybody knows right from wrong. I think everybody knows right from wrong, and they know when they're doing wrong. The thing is what we talking about? Social media is highlighting it that much more. So I don't believe that we are too far gone. I think as a bigger, and I know Kid would agree that there's a bigger microscope and there's a bigger, there's a big, it's a microscope on what we're doing bad and good, and that's the issue. So the more people that see it, guess what? The more influence it has. So I believe we really truly do have good and bad. But the thing is, when more and more people start seeing it, woo boy, that's the problem. That's the problem.
See, the thing is, our grandparents and great grandparents, what they taught us was doing dumb stuff ain't cute. Social media makes it look cute because why? There are no immediate repercussions. See a lot of what a lot of these young kids don't understand. When we got out of pocket, we got our ass whipped. We got punishment. There was dire repercussions up front and in person, and sometimes in public for your atrocities. There was called that. Why you think they have this saying called checks and balances? If you cash the check, that balance better be there, or you go, or that's your ass. That's what that was for. It wasn't used as a tool of abuse. It was used as a correction, because sometimes you got to understand, we got out of pocket in egregious ways that our parents are like, hold up, bro. Now I know you done lost your mind. So the punishment fit the crime. The problem is, though, we're looking at everybody else's experience and we're transposing our perspective, because everybody wants to say it's the truth. Okay, fine. Let me tell you something about truth. Truth has facts and findings. People are using that term to embed their opinions and perspectives onto another person's lifestyle. What you have is a perspective, okay? You have a perspective, because there's nobody on this planet inherently good or inherently bad to the point where you have a total truth. I'm sorry. And people are going to disagree with me, and that's fine. But you have a perspective. You have a way you see things. And that's the problem. What kept society where it was, there was privacy. You didn't see what went on in your neighbor's house 24/7. Your neighbor didn't see what went on in your house. The way they live at home ain't the way you live. And that's the way it's supposed to be. Because to be honest with you, a lot of us need to keep our perspectives out of other people's homes, because if you're not living that life, why are you trying to tell them how to live their life? You can't do it. I can give Mike a suggestion on a certain topic. I can give K-Styles a suggestion on a certain topic, but I inherently don't have the right to tell Mike how to live his life, because I'm not in his body. And we got to get away from trying to raise people that don't need your assistance. Period. You can come on here with all this new age talking. Oh, I'm gonna live my truth. No, nigga, you live in your perspective.
Mm.
You live in your perspective. You're living the way you see stuff through your eyes. That's why the word was invented. In art, it means a certain point of view. For all of y'all that want to, that I ain't even got to look up the dictionary. I know what it means.
Mm. Mm.
We are a collective bunch of opinions. The social media is a collective bunch of opinions and ideologies with no solutions. Because all
Yeah.
of this stuff that y'all figured out, y'all haven't solved now one damn problem.
Hmm. And just to put an example on that, and this is something that's kind of been going viral here the last couple days, is it's some rapper, her name is Dose or some shit like that.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. So for those that may not know what I'm talking about, is a woman literally went on the show and said that the biggest red flag for a man is the fact that he is a straight man.
Just say you like women. Just say you like women to be done with it. We in a culture where they
But
accept that.
but the thing about it is, it goes right to what you said, Juan. As far as people are putting their own personal experiences out here as if it's the truth,
Right.
instead of actually looking at the whole broad spectrum of what that comment says. Because think about it as a man. You thinking, okay, a woman's telling me that I'm a red flag because I like her.
And when you get done, Kev, I'm gonna back it up with something that's gonna hit people in
Right.
the face.
And like you said, we have what we call a social media plan. Like I said, the thing about it is we can be on social media for entertainment and information. That's not an issue as far as pertaining information. But the thing about it is, once you're starting to put your personal experiences as a fact, and like I said, this goes back to that red pill versus feminist strong woman culture, this gender war. You got basically a bunch of people who's using personal experiences and personal hurts to pretty much fight each other, and we're not getting nowhere. Because, like I said, once again, I'm gonna say this one more time, and I'm gonna let you go ahead and do what you do. If we're constantly saying this, and they're constantly saying this, ain't shit getting done.
Mm-hmm. Now
Ain't shit.
it goes back to what I just said, and you mentioned it. Somewhere along in her life, I would imagine that somebody,
Hit upside the head with a brick. That's just
some
go.
some male counterpart wronged her, be it family, be it friends, or be it a significant other. And this is what we are supposed to take away from our traumas. We are supposed to do two things. We are supposed to heal, and we are supposed to learn a lesson. Doesn't matter how egregious it is. You heal from it and you learn a lesson. That lesson is where you put your boundaries. What people do nowadays is they say, well, since I've been hurt by this particular person or this particular gender, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it my mission to punish everybody else. Here's the wake up call, especially for the ladies. Number one, you haven't dated everybody on the planet, so you don't know entirely what the gender consists of. You only know from your sect of people that you chose or influenced. Here's for the men. You haven't dated every woman on the planet, so you only have your sect of influence and what you have been exposed to. Number two, again, here I go with the terms. You ever had your grandmother say, be careful what you call yourself? When she says stuff like this, talking about she has a problem with straight men, that means a straight man hurt her. So what did she do? Instead of learning from it and saying, you know what, there's more people out there, let me see what life has to offer, she said, okay, I'm blaming everybody in the gender. I am not going to try to see anybody else. And I can guarantee you right now, some female jumped up in her face and said, guess what, you don't need them. Now guess how this gets intertwined, and this is how you mess up the next generation. A lot of women, when they say that, they'll say, well, I can't stand these niggas. Well, here's my deal. Stop dating niggas and date grown ass men. When brothers say, oh, I can't stand that bitch, stop dating bitches and date grown ass women. If you,
Exactly.
it's like I say, closing your hand in a door and being mad because it hurt. Stop doing it. Stop doing it. You doing the shit because it's cute. And when it don't work, then you want to blame everybody else, which you ain't. None of us gonna live long enough to date everybody else or meet everybody else. Cut it out. You didn't attracted 4 or 5 dumbass niggas, and you don't know how to discern which is smart from dumb, and then you blame everybody else for your bad choices. Dudes up here want to sleep with 4 or 5 goofy ass females, and now you mad because they got babies. Was it no niggas? No. You got control of your shit. And again, it goes back to responsibility. We all want to be ratchet without responsibility.
Hmm. But I want to go ahead and kind of end this. I know the people that's in here right now, like, no, I'll definitely end this. Damn, Seahawks trading DK Metcalf the Steelers for second round pick. Must
That's
be
no
the
that
money.
snowball picking up pretty quick.
Mhm. So we're gonna go and get up on out of here, man, fellas. Fellas, appreciate you on this conversation. Like you said, man, this is the STS. Like you said, man, we'll normally usually do this early in the day. Like I said, since it's a Sunday, hey, we appreciate you. Till next time, people. Hey, look, free agency about to be a mud this week, so you about to catch a busy day from this group over here.
Ooh, yes, sir.
They're talking about he waiting on part 2 of this shit.
Hey,
But
Cal, and
what's up?
I want to put this out there on the thing. What's one topic and a question they always ask us men, and nobody seems to be able to answer it. And I figured the answer out. What is it? What is the definition of a man?
I mean, that's the definition, man. Hell, you got these motherfuckers. You got these motherfuckers that can't even tell you what a woman is. So yeah, we will definitely do that.
Yes, sir.
No, I'm
So
not getting in that conversation.
yeah,
I'm not.
no, yeah. Like I said, man. Like I said, till next time, people, man. We ain't here to play.
No, absolutely not.
We here to stay.
Ooh, yeah. Nigga.
You ain't gotta go home.
But you really need to do some self-reflection. We
Oh
out
my
here.
god, damn. We don't know what a damn woman looks like. Motherfucker talking about pronouns or fucking. Man, you sit your stupid ass down. Oh my god, bro. Fucking
Like I said
Bruh,
before,
it's so much simpler than everybody think, bro. I'm telling you.
like I said, man. I think that should be the next one as to the real reason why Donald Trump won the election. That's gonna be the next one. The real reason why he won.
No, we know
and
all
it,
the reasons. They
I'm
and,
teach
saying,
it ain't as complicated as y'all think it is. So
and I'm gonna be the first one to tell you it's Kirk Cousins' fault.
shut up, man. All right, man. We out here, man. Deuces.
Later.
Public service announcement. The enemy closest to you will never show their true colors.